Well, g'day curd nerds. Today we're going to make a thick and creamy yogurt. So yogurt making at home is so simple. All you need is milk, a starter culture or some old yogurt. Well, it can't be really old, it's got to be live cultures, and a thermometer or to test the temperature of the milk. And of course, something to keep it warm with. I'm using a thermos. It's just a stainless steel thermos that a glass jar goes in with the milk and it keeps it warm during the 6 to 12 hours of, fermentation of the yogurt. There are other ways of keeping your yogurt warm, but I'll explain that at the end of the video. So watch as I make a nice thick and creamy yogurt. So we'll start by cleaning our equipment. I just washed mine in very hot soapy water and then rinsed off in very hot water, and that has cleaned all my equipment. You can see the equipment I'm using there. I've got my thermos, the glass jar, a small dairy thermometer, a Pyrex jug just to measure out the milk, and I'm using pasteurized unhomogenized milk. And the yogurt culture I'm using, this is a mild yogurt culture from Mad Millie called the Dairy Free Yogurt Culture Sachets, and there's 5 sachets. And the lactic bacteria that I use for this yogurt are Streptococcus thermophilus, Lactobacillus delbrecki subspecies bulgaricus, Bifidobacterium lactis, and Lactobacillus acidophilus. Now the ingredients for the thick and creamy yogurt is 1 litre or 1 quart of cow's milk. I'm using pasteurised unhomogenized milk, and 1 sachet of Mad Millie Dairy Free Yogurt Culture, or 35 grams or 1.23 ounces of yogurt per litre or 1 quart of milk. Now we're going to heat the milk to 85 degrees Celsius or 185 Fahrenheit. This denatures the proteins in the milk and it allows for a much thicker set. Don't skip this step. Then we're going to rapidly cool the milk down to 43 degrees Celsius or 109.4 Fahrenheit. I just put the pot into a water bath just to cool that down, and then pour the warm milk into the jar. Now I quickly preheated the jar by just filling it up with hot water and then tipping that out, just so that the milk wouldn't cool down too much. And then I checked the temperature of the milk to make sure that it had indeed cooled down to about 43 degrees Celsius or 109 Fahrenheit. Now I found that it cooled down a little bit too much, so it had dipped down to about 40. So to heat it back up again, I just put hot water in my little sink and then put the jar in, just check the temperature, and that brought it back up to temp before I pitched in the starter cultures. So just put the lid on. I just wanted to give it a just protect it there while it's warming up a little bit. Then once I thought it was warm enough, just take the lid off. I gave it a stir, check the temperature, and then we're going to put in the starter culture. It's just 1 sachet. Now, as I said, if you've got a yogurt that you like already and you think it's going to be nice when it's nice and thick and creamy, just add the 35 grams of yogurt at this stage and then give it a good shake. Now the lid didn't fit on as well as I thought it did because a little bit of milk came out, as you can see there. So not as airtight as I would have liked it to be. Probably use a proper mason jar lid. They have a better seal, but this just came with the kit. Now 1 quart mason jars do fit into the thermos, no problems at all, but 1 litre jars do not fit into the thermos. So if you want to make additional yogurt because you've got the jar in the fridge, then yeah, use the 1 quart jars. Now I'm just preheating the thermos by filling that up with hot water, and then tip out the water and then place the yogurt jar in the thermos. This will keep it warm for the 6 to 12 hours. So I'm allowing mine to set for the full 12 hours so I can get a nice thick set. So at the 12 hours, pull it out. I checked the temperature, it was warm. The jar was warm. I was surprised that it was still so warm. And I just wanted to quickly check the temperature, and it was actually about 35 degrees Celsius, so it's a good little incubator. Now there's some cream sitting on top, which is normal for using unhomogenized milk. So now we're going to drain the yogurt in a cheesecloth lined colander over a bowl to catch the whey. I'm going to drain a little bit of that out. A little bit runny at the top, and then it's really thick and chunky down the bottom. There we go, absolutely perfect. Get all that in there, Gav. So there's a little bit left in there, so I got out a rubber spatula and got the rest of that out. There we go. Now cover and place in the kitchen fridge for 6 to 12 hours. This allows it to cool down and set a bit more while it's draining. There it is in the kitchen fridge. So after it has drained, you can have a look. It's very thick. Not as thick as, say, Labner, which is a yogurt cheese, but there's a fair bit of whey that's come out. Probably half the volume, I would say. And now what we're going to do is turn it out into a bowl. Just take the cheesecloth out of the colander and then just pull it up, and it should just roll out. Now the cheesecloth was boiled before I used it, and it was still moist, so it was easy to roll out. So now mix the yogurt into a smooth consistency. I'm just using the rubber spatula there. Don't need to use a whisk or anything like that. And then spoon it into a container, and it stores for about 7 to 14 days. So there we have it, curd nerds. Here is my nice thick and creamy yogurt. It's a little bit tart, it's delicious. It is perfect for going on top of muesli or granola to make a Bircher muesli. It's actually perfect to use in any application that you would normally use yogurt for. Mix in some berries, some honey, and you get a beautiful dessert or breakfast snack. Or you can use it as a marinade for, say, tandoori. So perfect for anything you want to use yogurt for. So in true Cheeseman fashion, let's just taste it, shall we? Oh, a little bit tart, not overly acidic, which is fantastic. So if you want your yogurt to be a little bit more tart, you can leave it longer at the warmer temperature, and then I'll continue to eat up lactose in the milk and convert it into lactic acid, which gives it that tart flavour. This is perfect. I did strain it, as you saw, makes what's traditionally called Greek yogurt, but it is a nice thick and creamy yogurt without too much acidity. Very, very delicious. So other ways to heat your yogurt, you can definitely use machines like a Thermomix, a Instapot. They all have yogurt settings. Heck, even the Fromaggio that I've used before has a yogurt setting as well. You can also pop it into your oven with just the light on. So that'll keep it sufficiently warm to ferment the yogurt, and just like using the thermos that I used, it will make a perfect, nice, thick and creamy yogurt. Now you can also use the whey in many things. It's a little bit acidic, so you can use it in your garden, you can use it in bread, you can use it in a smoothie. And if you want to check out ways to use whey, then check out my video, 15 Ways with Whey. If you want to pick up the products that I use to make this cheese, you could pop over to littlegreenworkshops.com.au. But for those who are in the US that I can't ship to at the moment, then you can definitely pick these items up at my Amazon store. And the link is down in the description down below. From each sale, I get a tiny commission. Well, thanks for watching, curd nerds, and I'll see you next time.